I'm sorry, some of y'all women be blowing me because this seems to be the common story. So you and your mama don't have a good relationship because she don't want to watch your kids because she done already raised her kids and she ready to move on with her life and live her own life. You would rather a stranger watch your kids and do whatever the hell they want to do with your kids, and you gonna pay them some money to look you in your face and lie to you because they ain't got to tell on themselves, but you just gonna hope for the best. That's the risk that y'all willing to take. Y'all not gonna let the father raise his kids, have access to his kids, and give the kids the proper love and care that they deserve because you want to go out and have fun, but you can't do that unless you uphold your victim story for handouts and government assistance. Damn. But when you get the kids in your possession, you feel like having kids is like being a slave all of a sudden, and you can't live your life and you're miserable so that your kids are living off of quick meals, TV dinners. You got tablets and video games raising your kids because they lack interaction with you because you want to keep them out your face. That's literally seems to be the ongoing story here. Why don't you just give the kids to their father? If you don't want to be a mama and you want to pay anybody you can to raise them kids and you just want to have fun and do you, and you feel like having them kids up under you is somehow making you a slave or you're miserable and unhappy, just give them to their father. I believe you will receive less judgment in your life if you put the kids in a loving environment that will embrace them and invest in them to have a successful, brighter future than giving them to any and everybody to raise them so they can have a detrimental one because they don't even know what home is like. They ain't never there. And when they is there, it's cold, it's lonely, and it lacks interaction and love. Get them kids to his father and stop playing with them kids. Y'all just... The one thing that y'all don't want to be, which is trifling, is exactly what you become when y'all keep doing this stupid stuff.
And y'all need to leave them kids with their daddy. Yeah, leave the kids with the daddy for about 2-3 years and go do whatever you want to do. My mama did it to me and my sister. Back then, I didn't understand. But now, we his kids too. He could take care of the kids while you go figure out your mental health. That's perfectly fine. Leave them kids with their daddy. As somebody who was left with their daddy, I advise y'all to leave y'all kids with y'all daddy and go live your life. And if you want to come back to him, cool. If not, that's cool. They with the daddy.
Normalize letting the child live with their father, letting the father have custody, whether it's court ordered or just you two have an agreement. My son is 16. I was married to his dad. He has never not been around his dad his entire life. So when his dad and I got a divorce, we still lived together even after that. But when we finally really went our separate ways, my son went with him. I can't see me raising a young black teenager in Southeast DC without his dad. So it was like a no-brainer. It wasn't a second thought. The kid is not your custody. I know some ladies hold on to the kid as a pawn, as a dangling carrot, as all of this and that, especially the bitter moms. I'm not one of those. Take the child with you and I see him when I see him.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Once they have your child full time and they realize, wow, this is so much work. I got to get my kid up in the morning, get them to and from school. I got to take them to extracurricular activities, dentist appointments, doctor appointments. I got to go through a whole bedtime routine every night. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with them during school vacation weeks and summer vacation. Yeah, once they realize how much work goes into being a full-time parent, they are like so done. And once they figure out how expensive it is to have a child live with you full time, they realize that paying child support is literally the bare minimum, and they're so ready for you to take the child back. That is why it is so smart to just let them have the full custody, because they will at some point change their mind and want you to take the child back. And it's way better than battling it out in court with them, because not only is court super stressful and emotionally draining, it can drain your pockets as well. Court can get really expensive, especially if you decide to lawyer up. And there's no deadline. Court could drag on for years. Years! You could be in and out of court with your ex, and you could end up thousands of dollars in debt. So yeah, let them have the opportunity to be the full-time parent. Then when they decide they're over it, you just avoided wasting time and money going in and out of court with them. Your baby will be right back at home with you.
Chances. It's one too many times you turn on the news and see a woman doing something to a man's child because she's mad at that man, or because she's mad at the mother of that man's child, or because she's in competition and jealous of that child's spot in that man's life. And before I allow that woman to get on the news because she was mistreating my child, you'll see me on the news, okay? When it comes to my child, you will see me smiling on ABC News. When it comes to my child, I'm not giving anybody a chance to mistreat my child because you don't like who I am. I don't care who calls me a bitter baby mama, because at the end of the day, I know my child is well taken care of and safe and with me 24/7. Because like I said, if you don't like who I am, you're not going to have access to my child. I'm not giving you the chance to mistreat my child or hurt my child trying to hurt me. You're not doing that. Sorry. This is not a Cinderella story. It's not a movie. I'm not allowing anybody to be a wicked stepmother to my child. Okay?
All right. Let's unpack that one.
Yeah, that's any man that sees that.
If your baby daddy has a girlfriend, here's how you could tell if she's just a placeholder or if
she wants the persistent talking. All right.
Right. The audio wasn't working, so she had to come back and give it to us again.
Come back with another video, right? All right. She need to be heard. All right. Let's unpack that one. Okay. She realizes that her child's father is in a relationship with another woman, and she obviously, wants to have concern and for the kid of her child, and she has concern. And not only is she have concern, but she goes as far as to say that she's not going to allow access to her child, basically is what she's implying, if the other woman does not like her. Right?
I don't like
her. The woman does not like her. So my question to you guys, I'm going to ask Brother Danielle. My question to you, and then everyone else can follow thereafter. Do you think it's okay for a man's child's mother, I mean, it can be his wife or maybe just a woman that he shares a child with, do you think it's all right for her to decide if he's in relationship with another woman, whether if the child should or be able to be around the woman based on the fact that maybe they mutually don't like each other? What's your thoughts?
Absolutely not. I think the child is a man's property, and it doesn't lie in the woman's purview to determine whether the child should have access to the man, regardless whether he has any relationship with another woman or not.
That's deep. What do you guys say? Brother Noah, what do you say?
So she's trying to say that access to the child comes through her?
Basically, that's what it sounds like, right? You picked that up. How does she figure that, right? Sister Hands, we can't see your hands right now. Sister Hands in the background. What do you think about that, Sister Hands in the background?
Good question. Well, I think honestly that as the children belong to the father, the other woman who is not the mother, she will naturally actually try to do her best to please the man and be kind to the children, naturally. I don't think she's trying to get at the woman. I think they actually have the natural intention to be good to the children. It might not be what the physical mom likes to see.
Right.
But what I've observed from the outside is, like in our case, for example, my children liked these women and they were kind to the women, to the children, there was, so I think, and it's not the decision of the woman to make anyways.
Okay.
But if we are honest, there's probably going to be kindness.
There's probably going to be kindness. What do you say, Sister Deborah?
I see the pattern of the package deal. If you don't like me, then you don't like my daughter or my son. Automatically, I'm attached to it. And they cannot separate themselves from that image. Same thing with the man. So they assume that if the man doesn't love them anymore, and so romantically, he cannot love his children, which is not true.
Wow.
And the same thing is if a woman thinks that, you and I are not getting along as women, therefore you cannot have access to my child, because it's a package deal, as if the child is part of them, which is not true. It belongs to the father, like Noah said, like you're saying. And the children are having that mental disconnect is hard for women to get.
Wow. You know something about women, I can see.
Really? I was born one.
I actually heard those words from, I have I have 3 biological children, right? And I've literally heard those words from each one of my children's mothers at one point in time. You know, if you leave me, you're leaving your child. That was their rationale, right? Yeah, what do you say, brother Jeremy?
Those words, man. Jealousy at its finest. Jealousy and control at its finest. That's all I saw when she was talking.
Right.
How can I manipulate you?
Mm-hmm.
And then what it turns into is they get this thirst for drama, but in this thirst for drama, they're acting like they are controlling you, and I'm gonna get you back because now you hurt me. No, run. All she said, fellas, was run. That's all she said. Run from her.
Run from her. Wow, brother Hondo, is you with us? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yeah. So, were you able to catch that video?
Yep. I saw, heard everything on the video and what y'all were saying. Absolutely.
Okay. And your opinion, like, what do you say on this?
Well, you have to remember that since creation, women have rebelled against men due to the fall, right? And according to the Hebraic story, and not because you have so many. Can you hear me clearly, or do I need to put my headset in?
We hear you. We hear you.
All right. Because of that, we have a lot of resources at hand that allow women to rebel against men, and they'll take advantage. Because remember, women are generally smaller, they're weaker, they're physically weaker, so they need some type of advantage. And the advantage they have is their beauty, and the hormones cause other men to want to protect them. So even when they're not their men naturally want to step in and protect women. So that's why they go out into the public sphere and they say, oh, well, look, this brother, that brother, my husband, my boyfriend, or whoever it may be, he's against me and this child. So they have to resort to trickery and deception and chicanery in order to defeat you. And that's one reason that I've always told men, men collectively have to have a standard of behavior so that, for example, if one woman rebels against him, don't feel pity on her. I don't know the story. I'm not there.
Right.
There has to be an objective standard by which we judge these scenarios, which is why you need older, more experienced people who should be judging or presiding over these scenarios. But we really don't have that much. And we have a broken line of knowledge and wisdom. And that's what we're trying to restore. So that's a very simple way of thinking, but yeah.
Okay. I see that.
Sister, everybody.
Yes, indeed. I want to share a scripture in reference to that to everyone. Let me see. Let me bring us back to. All right, let's bring us to this. All right, so here, this is James, the 3rd chapter, started from the 13th verse. And this is what James writes, our master's brother. He says, who among you is wise and understanding? Let him show by his good behavior his deeds in the gentleness of wisdom. He says, but if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your heart, do not be arrogant and so lie against the truth. This wisdom is not that which comes from above, but is earthly, natural, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there is disorder and every evil thing. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, reasonable, full of mercy and good fruits, unwavering, without hypocrisy. And the seed whose fruit is unrighteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. So a good woman is going to sow a seed of making peace, as opposed to selfish ambition, jealousy, creating all kind of disorder in the family, causing havoc. As you can see, like, this is a seed which is a bombshell, right?
Yep.
like that goes off like a clear mind, right? That just explodes upon pressure. And what it does is it destroys everything, right? That's the design of it. And that's exactly what jealousy actually does. It's demonic within its nature. It does not come from above. What do you guys say on that text?
Can't argue with the truth. And that's exactly what it is. Let's see where we're here. First thing I noticed was a spirit of jealousy on this woman. And then, I mean, it says it right here, selfish ambition. Yeah, her ambition was to use the child to make life difficult for the man because she, like I said, she feels slighted. He went out and got a new woman.
Yes, exactly.
There is disorder in every evil thing.
In every
that woman's sick. Yeah. That woman's sick.
Daughters of Zion, arise, take your place. We walk in the fear of your truth on our face. We're learning His order. We're walking in grace, restoring the ancient past we once misplaced. Modest and mighty, refined by the fire. Our hearts set apart for our King we desire. Submission is strength, not weakness or shame. We honor the head and we lift up His name. Restoring our tribe in